Alright guys, welcome back. So here we are for the second episode of the series on solving LeetCode exercises, and today we will deal with removing duplicates from sorted array. This is again an easy exercise, good for us. So given an array nums sorted in non-decreasing order, okay, so we've got things like, you see 1, 1, 2, 0, 0, 1, 1. Okay, so it's non-decreasing. We want to remove duplicates in place such that each unique element appears only once. The relative order of the elements should be kept the same. Okay, so what did we learn from last time? That a counter is generally the solution of these kind of problems. Consider the number of unique elements in nums to be key. After removing duplicates, return the number of unique elements key. Okay, so basically in the end, we want to return key. Okay, the first element of nums should contain the unique numbers in sorted order. The remaining elements beyond index key -1 can be ignored. Perfect. So it's very simple to the last exercise that we solved. And given that, we can just try to apply the same logic. So basically we want to define a counter. Okay, so as a counter, let's start with key equal to 0, and then we want to add 1 at each time until we get to the final number of unique elements. Now let's try with this. We want to modify nums in place. So let's start with this. For value in nums. And then what we do is we decide something like, if value is different from nums key, I don't know if this works actually, because right now the first iteration will create a problem. But if value is different from nums key, then I want key to increase of 1, and I want value, and I want nums key to be equal to value. Okay. Let's see. So let's see what happens in the first iteration. So key is equal to 0. So for value in nums, so the first value in nums will be exactly equal to nums key. So this will mean that we have to start with key equal to 1, because the first element is 1. So let's try with if value is different from nums key -1. So basically we add 1 to key and we subtract 1 here. Okay, so the idea is to make the first iteration work, we need to have key equal to 0. But of course, if the array contains just one value, then we should return 1 because there is a unique value. So for value in nums, if the value is different, let's go to the second element. If the value is different, then we go to key +1. If the value is the same, key stays the same, and we go to the third number. And then once you go to the third number, in case it is different, you're modifying the second, which you're not going to anymore. So yes, guys, this should work. Sorry guys, I was just editing this video and I realized how difficult it was to follow, because I didn't explain fully which was the reasoning behind the algorithm I wrote down. So before we go on with the video, let me just walk you through the algorithm. So the idea is the following. So basically we're dealing with an array that is sorted in non-decreasing order. This means that if we want to scan each element of this array, we will go from the lowest number to the highest number, okay? So the idea is the following. We iterate through the array. If we find a value which is different from the previous one, this means the value is greater, okay? So this is our new unique number. So that is why we use the if statement, if value is different from nums key -1. The idea is that if our current value is different from the last value in nums, this means we are dealing with a greater value. So we can add that to nums, okay? So you see what's going on? We see if a value is different from the last value in nums. If this is so, we increase key and we update the new value, which is nums key minus 1, to the value that we are currently scanning. And then we go on and on, okay? So this is the way we want to create a nums array which contains the unique numbers in sorted order. Hope this clarified a bit. So let me try. Okay, wrong. Fantastic. So we start with 1, 1, 2, and the output is 2. Okay, so let's start with 1, 1, 2. So key is equal to 1. Now, for value in nums, if value is different from nums key minus 1, so this value is 1, and nums 0 is 1. Sorry, this is different. Instead, they are identical. So this should not change anything. I see the problem. So basically we are substituting the first number with 2 in this case. And we are basically substituting each time the number with the value. Because what is happening right now is that if the value is different from nums, you increase key by 1, but you substitute key minus 1. Okay, yeah, yes guys, I see the problem. The problem is we should update nums key, not nums key minus 1. Okay, let's try again. Okay, it's still wrong. Still wrong because this time we are updating, like we are taking only the first value, not the last. All right, so let's see. So let's try with case 1, 1, 1, 2, okay? So key equal to 1 for value in nums. So the value is 1. If 1 is different from 1, this is not happening. You go again up. If value in nums, if value is different from 1, it's equal. So let's go to key equal to value is equal to 2. If 2 is different from 1, key plus or equal 2, so key becomes 2, and nums key, no guys, because in this case key minus 1, it's 1. So nums key minus 1 should equal the value, and if we return key, guys, it's impossible. Guys, if for the value 2 is different from nums, in this case this is 0, so it's 1, you add key, so key is equal to 2, and then you substitute nums of 1 with the value, which is 2. Why is there a problem here? Damn guys, this is wrong. This is a syntax problem. Okay guys, okay, fair. Okay, it was a syntax problem. Okay, fair, we got it guys, we've got it. So key plus or equal 1, nums key minus 1 equal to value. Yes, everything is great. So we did a good job. Yeah, great guys. Let's try now to find the complexity of the problem. So the complexity is 4 values in nums. We are doing an if statement and then we're doing operations. None of this operation depends on the parameters. So I would say the complexity of this problem is O(n). Now that I think about it, guys, maybe we can move this here and avoid writing key minus 1. I think there is no difference. It's just, well, apparently there is a difference. No, I think it's an indentation error. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, it's just more beautiful to see. And yeah, so guys, thank you very much and see you in the next video.